Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot, and this is another gaming chat for the Walking Dead survivors. So, basically, for today's episode, we will be talking about the 1 year anniversary of my gaming experience within this game. It's been fun. Basically, right now, a year after I started playing now, I am currently T9 in every single account that I have right now in this game, which is three of them. And I'm about 87%, I believe is what it is, towards having T10 Cavalry in my main account right now, which unfortunately is going to take probably another good 4 to 6 months, if not a little bit longer, depending, because of flasks and stuff. And that's the one problem I do have with microtransaction gaming in this game is it takes you so long to collect these flasks because you only get, I think it's 18 every, I believe it's 8 hours when they have walkers come outside your place. And then, of course, you can do them from world events too when they exist there, which are infrequent, obviously. And it's a pain in the ass because sometimes it'll be 5, sometimes it'll be 10, 15, or 20. But the problem is they don't do it like every 3 to 4 hours or whatever. So it's going to take you forever to get them, is what it is. And you need 5,000 of them just to get the last section thing in the game for your last ultimate, whatever it is, ultimate cavalry, ultimate melee, or whatever the other one is, sharpshooter. So, and plus you got to do that 3 different times, so it's even more pain in the ass. You're talking about like 15,000 flasks right there for that, to have that all the way across the board, plus everything leading up to that, which is several thousand more flasks. So yeah, very much a pay to win experience, unfortunately. And for those of us that don't have money to pay to win, like myself, it becomes a big pain in the ass, is what it is. So I would actually show you guys some screen stuff here, but unfortunately, for some reason, when they updated the game, it does not want to bring it up properly. It'll just do stuff like that instead of actually showing the game, which would be, like, as I just did that, it literally was like moving the actual thing, which should be showing the game itself, but it's not doing that. It's really odd. So I don't know. It's something that happened during one of the updates recently. It just didn't want to. I don't know if they just don't want it being shown on screen anymore, or what it is, but it's really just a pain in the ass. But yeah, so basically, right now I am a couple days from T10, level 10 cavalry attack under the cavalry training, which would then lead to cavalry defense, and then it'll take another almost 6 days for that one. I have just enough flasks to do that right now, from 6 to 7, and then from there, technology will be pretty much at a flask basis. I need to get both those up to obviously level 10 to then unlock cavalry health increase to do that up to 6, which is going to be another 275 to start those out. And then from there, when that's all T10, or sorry, that's all level 10s, then you'll have cavalry versus fighters, which will be another 275 to do number 6 on that. And then eventually, when that's all the way up to 10, is when you can get ultimate cavalry unlocked, which is 5,000 flasks is one of the requirements. And then everything else. You already have everything else. It's unfortunate that I don't have all the flasks I need for that, because it would be done pretty much right now if it wasn't for that. And it just sucks to know that it's going to take forever to get that done then. So in the meantime, you're basically going to have intermediate stuff like me doing probably melee takedown for the overall 18 cavalry statue I have right now. But anyway, so basically I'm currently going to be a T9 for the foreseeable future in this and both the other accounts, obviously. And then right now we started doing merit exchange today. Had this one chick who I called a dude because I thought they were a dude. And everybody's like, no, they're a chick. And it's like, well, I'm going to call you dude no matter what, because, just a natural response is what it is. But anyway, looks like they're all packing up their T9 right now, actually. If my current shields were not over 6 hours, I would definitely go attack their outposts once or twice here, just up my own stuff. But the fact that I have a 6-hour shield on right now, I'm not going to do that, which is obviously 8-hour shield. So, but yeah, it's fun either way. The one thing I do appreciate with this game is it's better to do this, obviously. If you're gonna do things in this game, like it's much better to have people willing to do merit exchanges, whether it be one region having their big coalitions do the thing there, having their war pack, whatever you want to call it there. Because right now we're in war packs as of season 5 here, and it's basically 2 different coalitions from the same region can be in the war pact. And I believe it's actually up to 3 eventually, as like the seasons progress here into like season 6 and stuff like that. But either way, you basically have just a really interesting thing overall. And the big thing with this game is you can actually have a better overall exchange rate with people and not have to deal with the stupidity of things like we have with our old region of 2134, which from my understanding, the people that got left behind there that weren't able to jump forward because they didn't have the cash on hand to do so, or the one chick that inadvertently did the wrong place and then had to basically stay in 134 for the next, X amount of days here until season 6 starts is what it is. She was basically saying how since day number 1, you've had 134, and I forget what the other region is that was with them this season, have basically been going to war since day number 1. And it's a shit show. It really is, dude. Like, I'm so glad that I'm not part of that region anymore, because I would be pretty much on season region never, is what it is. I would be there maybe like once or twice with a shield up throughout the season just to get rewards off of that season. But other than that, like, with the exception of going after, various survivor camps and stuff like that, the rewards are on top of them when you start seasons and stuff. I would never be on that region. I would be in home region all the time. And so I'd be pretty much probably kicked out of Clansman, I guess, honestly. And what's even more disgusting is from what I was told the other day, you had them shut down buff rooms now. And what's even crazier is you had Zoma, I think is what the person's name was, like Renama Zoma or something like that. I forget how to pronounce the name. But anyway, that person was the region chief up until I think like a week or 2 ago in there. And now Killer Bees, who was one of our dudes in season 1, has now taken over region chief duties. So, and apparently he was the one that like immediately closed buff rooms. So I don't know what is going on with that dude. I'm assuming it's something where he's going to try to just, hammer down people and stuff like that. A bunch of the people that jump with us right now that are not anywhere near as powerful as he is, because of just, pay to win versus pay to win is what it is. They want, like not against bees or anything like that, but they want like revenge against like the majority of leadership of Aqua at this point from 134, which I don't blame them, honestly, because if it wasn't for them, like most of us wouldn't have left. And that's the sad part. Like, you basically told, this is what's really fucked up actually about season 4, before we all jumped over to 144 now. You had all these people basically telling our leadership, oh, we know you guys have dead weight here, but don't even bother cutting that. And then when we finally had finished up with season region, when we finished up for season rewards, and everybody that wasn't there for days or weeks at a time or whatever that got the rewards for nothing and are probably just going to be rotting in their boxes and stuff like that for months now, if not like a year or 2, whenever they come back into the game. Who knows if they're going to be there at that point, probably burn off by then, I'm guessing. But either way, it's like, yeah, you have people that could have been part of this third clan in 134 that could have actually helped us out in the last like couple of weeks before the end of the season, gotten those season rewards because they deserve them. And instead, you let a bunch of people that weren't even there basically get rewarded for doing nothing, like 90% of the fucking season. It makes absolutely no sense at all. And again, I have no idea who the ages of these people are, honestly. I think some of them are like a little bit older. I think the one guy that was in our original seat or in our original region, that then jumped to Aqua. I believe he was in his 50s, I want to say, or even 60s for that matter, maybe even, because he was talking about having like kids that were in like their 20s or 30s. So he was like, I believe, like I said, probably mid 50s, early 60s, somewhere in there. And then I'm not sure how old Bees is. Bees is like a businessman, though, I guess, who does like overseas stuff all the time. And he kind of sounds like one of these like hostile takeover kind of CEO guys or whatever. So it really wouldn't surprise me if that's what he really was in real life. And it makes sense why he'd want to be so like cutthroat, but essentially is what it is in game. Which for me, as some dude who's just living here in Ohio, it's not like that here, man. I just want to play a game. Like that's my thing. I want to play a game, and I don't want to have to worry about somebody randomly attacking and destroying my entire year's worth of work in one shot, which is what almost happened like 6 months ago when we were in season 2. And that's why I'll never forgive the one chick that's currently in 134 for that shit, because she basically incited that whole thing. And had it not been for the dude who was, I believe, region chief of that region at the time, had he basically sent all 4 of his formations at me at that time, I would have been completely zeroed out, and I would have lost pretty much everything at that point. And that was in my main account. As it was, he ended up sending 3 at me, not quite zeroing me, but still basically just torching like so much of my work at that point, and it just disgusted the hell out of me. I think that was back when I had a lot of like T7s and T8s is what it was. And yeah, it took a long time to get to where I'm at right now with that stuff into T9. And like, if somebody wiped me out right now, I'd be so fucking pissed off right now, dude, because it's like, bro, like I just spent like legit like the last like good 4 to 6 months doing this shit now. So, but yeah, basically, it's interesting the progression from a year ago. So essentially, we started out as Region 409, ended up going into some random clan on 409 that was pretty much a dead clan, not even realizing it for like a week or 2 is what it was. Had the original chick that was running at the time, we called ourselves HRD, had her message me, invite me over there, ended up starting to become slightly more powerful because of all the people there helping me out every day. And then, working my ass off, doing my thing in my town hall and getting everything, all my buildings set up and whatnot. This is before I really knew anything when it came to guides and things like that. And then eventually the chick that invited me over ended up leaving, or I think she had to go inactive is what it was, because her, where she was living at the time, she didn't have the proper internet set up or whatever, so it was like dipping in and out all the time is what it was. So she left it in the hands of a chick named Megan, who to this day is still with us. She's actually our current clan leader in the current region. So anyway, so yeah, she left it in Megan's hands. Megan took over pretty well. I became basically her right-hand man at the time for quite a bit of time. We ended up leaving HRD over the time span of season 1, and then going to, I forget what it used to be called, but basically it was like the main clan of that season. And that was where she and I and a bunch of other people went to. And then eventually my secondary and third-dairy accounts were other places to be like leadership there is what it was, but really they just got fucked over for weeks at a time is what it was during that second season is what it really was there. Like they were getting nothing. They were barely breaking even, if not getting diminished returns is what it was every single day, that they were in another thing trying to deal with people's shit. And so she ended up creating, I believe, I know she created a second account, and I think she ended up creating like 4 or 5 accounts eventually, or something, where people were leaving our clan. She ended up talking them into somehow giving her access to their accounts is what it was, because I think she still has 1 or 2 accounts over in 134 right now under whoever's names. I'm not sure who the hell they are at this point. But yeah, so basically she started, I believe, paying to win here in the last like season. So season 4, she started doing a little bit of pay to win stuff because she suddenly became T10 out of nowhere. And her and I were on the same trajectory path as free to play people for a long ass time. So I can only assume she got like a gift card or something, or maybe she, talked to her significant other and was like, hey, can I buy some stuff in this game? And the guy's like, yeah, go ahead, because we got a little bit extra windfall or whatever. And so she basically did whatever she needed to do there to get ahead there. And I'm fine with that. That's fine. It's whatever, dude. That's how you want to play it. That's how you want to play it. Like I said, if I had the money, I'd do the same thing, honestly. I'm not even going to lie. But unfortunately, I do not. So basically, you end up having myself, who's been, as far as I consider myself right now, I'm 100% free to play in this game. The only time that money was spent on my accounts was when our good friend Jordan gave me enough gold bars, basically, to do my region jump. And I thank him every day for that, honestly, because I would still be stuck in 134 if it wasn't for that. And he didn't do it just for me either. He did for, like, I think 3 or 4 other people in the clan, too. So it worked out well for everybody. But anyway, so basically, like I said, season 1, we basically won season 1 in my main account there. And I have the badges and stuff to prove that one. Ended up getting my Negan unlocked in that season for my first account. And then season 2, I want to say we did something where we all came together at the very end and ended up taking like second, I believe is what it was. Season 3, we did something similar where we ended up taking like second. And then season 4, which was last season, we all came together with those other pay-to-win regions. We did that weird merge or whatever it was. And we ended up becoming 134 after that, after being 409 for the first 3 seasons of the game. And then during season 4, it was basically, you had the guys in Aqua take us all the way is what it was. And we took first place there, and thank for that one, because that allowed for all the rewards and stuff like that, all the speed ups and everything else like that allowed me to get so much further ahead than I am right now. Every single thing I've done in this game that I've got to T9 now for all my guys was pretty much directly because of that, because of how I had like 7 or 8 days worth of speed ups because of all that stuff with winning season 4. And from there is basically now we're in season 5, so it's pretty fun. It's a fun game overall. My biggest thing is, and this would be to anybody out there maybe watching this now or later on, if you're going to play this game and you're not willing to spend money, it's going to take you a long time to grind. Legitimately, I would say even just doing the basics and doing everything up to where you would have to get like the prerequisite stuff done for all the buildings to get to higher troop levels, you're looking at probably a good 4 to 6 months worth of work. And that's multiple hours a day on a daily basis. I would say like anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours a day or more a daily basis there for a good 4 months of your life. So unless you're willing to, pull out a credit card and spend a couple $1,000s, I'm guessing, honestly, you're not going to get ahead very fast is what it is. And even spending a couple $100s, you're probably going to get somewhat ahead, but not, again, as fast as you would otherwise. So definitely 100% a microtransaction game, unfortunately. And for those of us that, don't want to spend the money and have the time that we can invest into it, it's a fun game, But it also, when you, forget to shield up or didn't shield up and didn't realize you weren't going to be attacked, and you can basically lose everything overnight. And because of that, or not even overnight, in like the matter of seconds is what it is, you can basically lose months of work in a matter of like 10 to 20 seconds, honestly, which is sad. And what's even worse is that's what leads to some people just quitting entirely. And I think that's kind of what happens sometimes in season 2 and 3 and stuff like that, is you had people that were attacked like that and they're like, well, fuck this game. And that's when Megan basically took over their accounts for them is what it was, or had like somebody else do it for her or whatever then. So either way, it's whatever. I could really care less, honestly. If she wants to do that, that's fine with me, honestly. If she wants to be some kind of a spy there in another region, that's whatever, that's her life. That's what it is, man. For me personally, I'm doing my thing here. I'm trying to get better is what it is. And hopefully, like I said, I can do something where I can get at least Cavalry up to T10 here before the end of the year. It all depends. It's basically how much flasks I can get on a daily basis, which is going to be, I think, at least 54 that you can get, because it'll be 18 every 8 hours, basically, a guarantee from the walkers that are outside your town. And then So you got that much. Plus, if they have any in the world events for the day, so you're talking about anywhere from like 5 to 10 or 15 or 20, depending on there. And that could happen a couple times a day or not even at all during the day. So really, it depends on RNG on that one. But yeah, Walking Dead Survivors is a very fun game. Most recently, they were actually doing an update on the game here. And this is something I do want to talk about before I finish off today, because I'm going to go to Discord here real quick. So, going to the official Discord here, they put out a preview update here the other day that I want to go over. And essentially, what's happening is I think this is probably going to be either tomorrow night or probably Monday night. I think is when this usually happens. So we got new preview update. Maintenance schedule will be updated and approved here. First thing, added a spectator mode to Last One Standing. I've never played that actual game. I don't plan on playing that particular thing because it's, to me, it just sounds stupid, and really it's just time I don't really have during the day is what it is to play that. Number 2, optimized explosive situations. You can collect free ammo every 3 hours now, which it used to be every 4, but if I'm not mistaken. Stashes of free ammo that can pick up, stack up to 4 stashes, which is nice because it used to be, I think, 0. As I claim them in time, explosive situations is expected to reopen on July 29th. This is the one where you can basically, I've been playing it actually right now, and you basically are waiting for beta to come around to get like the best stuff out of it. And he basically allows you to get like long range rewards. It's a couple free universal fragments depending on how many you kill of him, etc., etc. And yeah, it's nice. Let's see, number 3, added season merit for clan building construction work. That's nice. For Season 1, you earn merit when you participate in the construction of a clan base or outpost. Seasons 2 and beyond, you earn season merit when you participate in the construction of expansion base or outposts. Amount of season merit given is based off the construction value of the construction work, so basically how many hours you were there is what it is. Number 4, added a coalition view on season map. Players in Season 3 and beyond can zoom out on the season map and select coalition view to view coalition-related elements on the map. That's actually an interesting one. Number 5, second captain of a coalition can now set, or second captains of a coalition can now set clan marks. 6, increase the amount of Negan vouchers for the end of Season 8. The new amount of Negan vouchers, Negan fragment vouchers, is double the old amount. For example, there are 200 Negan vouchers for the win in the new number 1 clan and the number 1 coalition at the end of Season 8, which was 100 to begin with, apparently. And then number 7, optimized the function chat for PC version and added permission settings for group admins. So that should be fun. Considering I do play on PC quite a bit. Wish they had done a couple other things too, for that matter. But, this is what it is. Personally, I wish that they would add more animal stuff to daily stuff, is what it is, for the animal missions. And specifically for that, I wish it would be like more dogs, if nothing else. Like the original animals they give were cool and everything like that, but I wish they would do like more of the new ones and stuff like that, like Doberman or Boxer, whatever the case be. Because they don't do any of that stuff. Even for the ones that are on the world events now, it's still going to be the Husky, the Rottweiler, or the Shiba. So I wish they would add like Doberman or Boxer or something like that to those ones, even for that matter. Or do both, actually. Add some that are just that thing, or whatever the case be, or whatever. Like task rewards or something was what would be nice of. But anyway, it is what it is, man. One of these days I'll be hopefully collecting enough rubies that I can just up one of my epics to a legendary at some point in the future, but that's going to take fucking forever as well, because again, it's, you got to use up the stuff daily. Honestly, one thing I do wish they would do as well on that one, going back to the daily tasks for the animal training, they really need to lower the costs of dog purchases from 500 to like maybe 300, honestly, or at least down to like 5 anyway. Because right now at 600, it's ridiculous, man. It really is. Like, you're talking about 600 rubies minimum you got to spend a day for that, plus another 20 to do the other thing to get your set of chests for the day, and then everything else for that matter. And it's like, yeah, eventually it just becomes a war of attrition, unfortunately. So anyway, that being said, that's pretty much where we're at for the episode and update here. Like I said, I wasn't going to do too long for here. Just basically an overall view of the last year I've been playing this game, and just the overall war of attrition it comes to being a free-to-play player versus a pay-to-win player. So anyway, till later. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see y'all probably sometime tomorrow or Monday, because I want to do the grandstand calling out the douchebag leftists now, because they are some scumbags here, and they're doing actual criminal shit right now against Issue 1 currently, that both AG Yost and Secretary of State Frank LaRose should be charging them on. So, and we'll also talk about possible amendments for Issue 1 if it doesn't pass. Or I should say for the 50% plus one vote if Issue 1 does not pass. That the left would really get pissed off from the right on. So, anyway, till later. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.